Hello, I'm Allie, the literary sewist. Here in my crafting castle, I create projects inspired by the books I review. So grab a snack, sit back, and let me tell you why you should read The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more bookish sewing goodness. The Lunar Chronicles is a futuristic retelling of classic fairy tales, featuring Cinderella as the cyborg mechanic with a mysterious past that she doesn't remember. Little Red Riding Hood is now Scarlet. She is on a mission to find her grandmother, who has gone missing without a trace, and it just might be the big bad wolf that helps her unravel the clues. Cress is our Rapunzel. She is trapped on a satellite out in space, tasked with monitoring the communications from Earth, and has become quite the talented hacker. Winter is the stepdaughter of the cruel Queen Lavanna. She's not as weak as everybody thinks she is. These four leading ladies are amazing. They fight against an intergalactic invasion, a deadly plague on Earth, unravel the mystery of Scarlet's missing grandmother, discover love, and start a rebellion that may just save us all. The series consists of the four main novels, each one named after the four ladies in the story. Each novel builds on the story prior to it, starting with Cinder. Then we add in Scarlet's story. So Cinder doesn't go away, we have Scarlet right behind her, and then they come together. Then we have Cress. Her story then joins Cinder and Scarlet's story. And we have Winter, who we meet last, and her story combines with the other three. Then we have all of them working together to get through the mystery, the rebellion, the invasions, the plague, all of that. There are also two novellas. The first novella is Fairest, which is the story of Queen Lavanna. It tells you who she was prior to becoming queen and how she became the cruel dictator that she is now. Stars Above is the second novella. It is a collection of short stories that fills in the gaps of all the other character stories with backstories, things we didn't know about them, and putting them all together creates this wonderfully elaborate story. This story spans from the Earth to the moon, back again. It really keeps you on your toes. So there's a lot going on, but in such a great way. So what did I like about this book? First of all, it felt like it was something that I personally would have written. Reached into my brain and put things in my head onto paper. I loved it so much that I was like, I have to know who this author was. So I flipped to the back cover where it has her one paragraph bio, married with a husband, lives with her cats, and I'm like, this literally sounds like me. Marissa Meyer spoke to my inner fangirl. I couldn't have appreciated it more. It's a really great twist on classic fairy tales. Some twisted fairy tales are really great. Some of them are just meh. Marissa Meyer did a great job. She really captured the essence of who the characters in our classic fairy tales were and really makes them her own, but keeps true to who they were. Marissa Meyer's world building for this story was phenomenal. She did a really great job of pulling the different inspirational elements from things that she loved, putting them in one place and creating a world for her characters to live. Completely believable in ways that I wouldn't have expected. For me, it was like reading a book set somewhere in the mix of Final Fantasy, Crystal Tokyo from Sailor Moon, like being on Serenity and running from the Alliance. It was just great. Lots of different inspirations pulled into one place, and it worked and melded so beautifully. Eco. Charming, sweet Eco. She is the android companion of Cinder, and she brings joy and lightheartedness and fun to everybody in this story, especially Cinder, who really is in a dark place when we first meet her. Eco keeps things light. She thinks she's human. She loves shoes and fashion, and she drools over boys. It's adorable. I love her. She has a heart of gold and is always chipper, and it's just great. There are two graphic novels called Wires and Nerves that feature Eco after the events of the Lunar Chronicles. I'm really embarrassed to say that I haven't read them yet. So clearly you can tell I like this story, but what didn't I like about this story? My only real complaint about the series is that I felt like I didn't get enough information about Winter. Because we meet the characters as their books come along, Winter doesn't see as much of the action as the rest of the characters do. I felt like there could have been one more novel that took the second half of Winter and put that in a 5th novel so that we would have more focus of what's going on in Winter's world during the events of the rest of this story. Well, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Is this a world you'd want to live in? Is this a story you want to immerse yourself in? Like, do you have a classic fairy tale that you'd like to hear a different version of their story? Let me know in the comments. Now that we've made it this far, let me tell you about what inspired me. I probably could sew something for every single one of these characters. I absolutely love every single one of them. But today I'm going to sew something for Scarlet, who is known, of course, for having a hood, because she's Red Riding Hood, but hers is a hoodie. So what's better than to make a Scarlet red hoodie? Let's go sew! Open crafting castle for business.
I am capable of choosing my battles, if that's what it takes to win the war.
I didn't have enough length for the sleeves, so I folded the pattern piece over where I had maximum length so it would be even on each side. Then I unfolded the pattern and cut out the bottom length of the sleeve, plus 1/2 inch for seam allowance. Pockets weren't an included option for this version of the pattern, so I made one up for myself. This pattern has my favorite hood ever. It lays flat on your back when it's down, but still contours to your head when up. At this point, I broke my new needle. No clue why, no clue where it flew off to either. Say a little prayer I don't step on it later. Quick story. I met Marissa Meyer at a book event around the time that Scarlet came out. I totally geeked out. I told her how reading her book bio made me feel like I was reading about myself. We talked Sailor Moon and Firefly for a bit. Then I thanked her for reading my mind to write the story. She signed my book, Moonies Forever, and it still makes me smile to this day. Sewing cuffs can be difficult, but if you quarter the sleeve and cuff before you sew, then go slowly between each quarter to attach, you'll be just fine. I ended up sewing the zipper on last instead of first. I needed the husband to help me tighten the hardware on my So Dolce zipper. Darn carpal tunnel stealing my strength. Almost done! Power down, crafting castle.
She was tired of everyone deciding her life for her. She was ready to figure out who she really was, not what anyone else told her to be.
As you may have guessed, I did give this series an overall 5 stars. It's a great series and I definitely think you should read it. Why? It's a super fun adventure with great characters that you'll adore. There are twists that you don't see coming but they will keep you engaged and keep you guessing, and Marissa Meyer's writing speaks to the fangirl in all of us. Now, if you haven't read these books already, and I've encouraged you to read the series, there will be links in the description below. I will also include links for all of the fabric and patterns that I used for today's project. That way you can read the Lunar Chronicles while wearing your own Scarlet hoodie. And if you would like to see more bookish-inspired sewing projects, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you get notified every single time there's a new video uploaded. If you liked what I had to say about the Lunar Chronicles, be sure to like this video as well. See you next time!